In the hushed corners of a dimly lit room, a young soul sat, fingers poised above a glowing screen, a vortex of doubt swirling in their chest. "My beloved child," an unseen voice whispered, resonating deep within. "Don't swipe. There are currents trying to tug you away from this moment because of what it can unlock in you." The air was thick with anticipation, a gentle hum of energy that seemed to pulsate with a life of its own. It felt like the very fabric of the universe was leaning in, eager to share a secret. As the seconds ticked by, a sense of urgency enveloped them, the sensation of time slipping through fingers like water. "If you leave in the next 7 seconds," the voice continued, "you could miss the insight that makes your whole story make sense." A shiver coursed through their body, an electric thrill mingled with fear. What if this was the breakthrough they had been searching for? The key to understanding their own existence. The walls around them began to fade, replaced by a vivid tapestry of memories, moments where they felt different, out of sync with the laughter and chatter of those around them. "You didn't stumble onto this by accident," the voice assured, as if reading their history. "Heaven guided you. Here, right now, for weeks, your angels have been trying to get your attention." They could almost see the shimmering outlines of those angels, swirling in the periphery, beckoning them to listen. "Your name is lit up in the margins of heaven's book," the voice continued, wrapping them in warmth. A sensation of belonging washed over them, a stark contrast to the loneliness they often felt. The echo of family gatherings filled their mind, filled with love, but also a chasm of misunderstanding. Why did they feel so different? "This is not random. This is a summons. Listen closely." Emotions surged as the voice laid bare the truth of their lineage. Every bloodline has a chosen carrier, a soul marked before birth to break patterns and shift atmospheres. Each word felt like a gentle nudge towards a long-forgotten truth. They remembered the weight of emotions they carried, the whispers of intuition that guided them like a lighthouse in a stormy sea. "You have been marked with signs, each a testament to your journey." Tears began to well up as the voice unraveled the cords of their uncertainty. Sign 1, you were born spiritually tuned. They recalled childhood moments, sensing the heaviness in a room before anyone spoke, feeling the pulse of unvoiced fears. That sensitivity is not a flaw, it's radar. They clutched their heart, realizing that their emotions were not burdens, but gifts, a language uniquely theirs. "You ask the questions that rattle the room," it said with reverence. The echoes of their inquiries rang true. Why do we keep repeating this pattern? Why don't we talk about the secret that keeps wounding us? They remembered the stares of disapproval, the labels of being dramatic or rebellious, but within them a fire ignited. They were not troublemakers, they were brave. Your questions are not troublemaking. Every time you voice the uncomfortable truth, heaven marked it as progress for your whole bloodline. The voice spoke of pain that transformed into strength, of each heartbreak etching wisdom into their soul. Your testimony isn't just your story, it's your weapon. With each revelation, they could feel the chains of familial expectations loosening their grip. They were not fragile, they were forged in the fire of experience, crafted for something greater. "You never fit the mold," the voice continued. The memories of family gatherings flooded back, where they stood as an observer, feeling the weight of conversations too shallow for their deep-seated yearnings. That's not judgment. That's distinction. The realization settled in their heart like a warm embrace. They were designed for impact, not conformity. As the final signs unfolded, visions of dreams unfurled in their mind, unseen blueprints of a future that only they could grasp. You carry dreams that others laugh at until they need them. They recalled moments of sharing their vision, only to be met with skepticism, yet knowing that each dream was a seed planted for the future. Don't shrink them. Don't shove them. Record them. With a newfound clarity, the young soul felt the weight of purpose settle on their shoulders. They were not just a participant in their family story. They were the one destined to change it. "Stay with me," the voice urged. Your confirmation is only moments away. And in that moment, they pressed the like button with trembling fingers. A simple act of agreement. A declaration of their willingness to embrace the identity that had always been theirs. As they took a deep breath, the room filled with light, and the currents that once threatened to pull them away now uplifted them, carrying them toward the destiny they were born to fulfill. Today, the fog lifted. Today, they remembered who they had always been. In the quiet heart of a stormy night, where the winds howled like lost souls, there lived a young woman named Ilara. She was not just an ordinary girl. She was the spiritual anchor of her family, a bridge between her loved ones and the divine throne room. Ilara often felt like a solitary lighthouse amidst an unending sea of doubt and ridicule. Her family would roll their eyes when she prayed over her meals or fasted in silence, teasing her with laughter that echoed through the halls of their modest home. But when the storms struck, both in the sky and in their lives, they turned to her for solace, their unwitting spiritual contact, the one they called upon in desperate times. Underneath the surface of her family's banter lay the weight of her unseen burdens. Ilara carried their names, their invisible struggles, into the quiet corners of her room, pouring out her heart in fervent prayers. Each tear she shed was a silent cry for those who couldn't find the words to express their pain. The family who once mocked her faith would soon learn that her sensitivity was not a flaw, but a superpower, a divine gift to preserve their spirits. But this role was exhausting. Ilara often found herself drained, empty as a vessel, echoing the cries of those around her. In those moments of exhaustion, she would remind herself to return to the source, to refill her spirit from the well of divine grace that never ran dry. The stillness of her solitude became a sanctuary where she could replenish her strength, preparing her for the heavy mantle of leadership that lay ahead. In her heart, Ilara felt the stirring of purpose. She began to notice how her boundaries, the circles she stepped out of, and the movies she chose to skip, weren't limitations, but protective measures for something greater. Her chosen path was not about isolation, but empowerment. With every night spent in prayer, she felt the coils of doubt loosen, the chains of generational burdens snap like fragile threads. As days turned into weeks, Ilara found herself transforming. The lonely seasons that once felt like punishment became periods of preparation, honing her ability to listen deeply and love fiercely. Betrayals from the past, instead of diminishing her spirit, expanded her capacity for compassion. In every moment of struggle, she was being shaped for a purpose, a leadership that would one day heal not just her family, but many others. One fateful evening, as dark clouds loomed overhead, a familiar knock echoed through her door. It was her cousin, Jonah, who had been battling demons of his own. His eyes were a mirror of the pain she recognized all too well. As they sat together, Ilara felt the weight of her calling settle upon her. This was the moment she had been prepared for. With a calmness that surprised even her, she spoke words of encouragement and wisdom drawn from her deepest well of faith. Jonah listened, his heart slowly shifting as hope ignited within him. The energy in the room transformed, and in that shared silence, Ilara knew that her influence extended beyond mere words. She was no longer the girl who sought approval. She had become a beacon of healing, a conduit for divine love. As the storm raged outside, Ilara's presence became a sanctuary for Jonah's troubled soul. She understood now that every moment of loneliness, every tear shed in silence, was a thread woven into the larger tapestry of her family's destiny. The very storms that had once threatened to drown her now fueled her resolve. In the days that followed, as she continued to pour into others, Ilara found herself overflowing with blessings. Those who once dismissed her began to seek her counsel. The family that had once doubted her now looked to her as a source of strength. Ilara realized that she was not newly chosen. She was equipped, anointed, and prepared for the sacred mission before her. Elara's journey was a testament to the power of resilience and the beauty of divine purpose. With every step she took, she walked with authority and humility, embodying the truth that she was indeed the chosen one. She embraced her role, no longer feeling the need to justify her existence or seek validation. Her life became a living prayer, a melody of hope amidst chaos, and the light within her burned brighter than any storm could extinguish. As the first light of dawn broke through the dark clouds, Elara lifted her head high, her shoulders squared, ready to carry freedom not just for herself, but for all those she loved. The breakthrough had begun, and she was determined to lead the way, knowing that heaven had always said yes to her long before anyone had ever said no.